Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Rush Racing Division 2. Konnichiwa, Suzuka at Japan for round number 3. And I'm sure we are going to see some fantastic racing around this track. Very, very different to Bahrain from last week that we did have a sprint weekend. So this is going to be very interesting. We've had a bit of an up and down with leaders. So who is going to be taking out the win or being victorious tonight? I am your host and commentator SJ, and I'm joined by the man that's Wild Track.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Here we are at Suzuka. This is one of those tracks that in real world F1 has had some absolute massive highlights. They say it's a track that makes world champions, breaks hearts, and makes legends. We've got Senna Prost. We've got Hakkinen Schumacher, Schumacher Alonso. Some absolutely epic real world races that have actually taken on in this track. Look, we're talking about Suzuka. It's 18 turns, and it's a massive mix of some iconic high speed S curves from turns 1 through to turn 7. We've got some crazy hairpins, and it all comes down to that spoon, the long straight, and then we've also got that 130R, one of the bravest corners in F1, culminating in the Casino Triangle chicane coming back into the pit straight. This is Suzuka, Div2, Rush Racing. I reckon this is going to be an absolute cracker, SJ.
Yeah, I didn't understand the first part what you said, but I'll translate that later on. But no, I think this is yeah. We saw what Division 1 had to offer yesterday. 3 safety cars in Division 1, and a few big names out. Obviously, Fat Cat out last night. And also Wonton and a few others as well, which is, it's an interesting one. Concentration has to be on point here, especially in the Sector 1 area. It is basically follow until you get to spoon and 130R, and that's really when you then start to try and make your overtakes. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these guys go. Then you've also got only one DRS zone here as well. So you really have to pinpoint your overtake down that main straight, which we will see probably a lot of wheel-to-wheel and side-by-side action going into turn 1. But also, getting into that side-by-side action, make sure you do give enough room because it is such a difficult corner if you do not get it right while track.
That's right. Turn 1 is notorious for plenty of runoffs, and also, I don't know about you, SJ, but I've collected the inside curve on that turn 1 plenty of times, and it just sends you for an absolute trip. So turn 1, as per usual in F125, is always going to be a bit of a doozy, but this one is one of the highest speed turn 1s in the on the calendar, and it's a very interesting one, as we've got Sprinter heading out for his first hot lap. We are in our short qualifying session. It is interesting times here. You're expecting somewhere around the 127s, 126s even. So yeah, these guys are going to be absolutely pushing the rubber around as we see Sprinter pushing along in the Haas.
Yes, we do. We've also got to just double check. The connection is not the best. It does flickering off a little bit, so I'll do my best. Connection is a little bit iffy here. It was here when we started the lobby. Actually, everyone's red bar. So fingers crossed we don't have any problems, and everyone does get to see. I'll let Wild Trek take away Sprinter's lap. He is coming through into Sector 2 now. So back to you, Wild Trek.
Yeah, that's right, coming through to Sector 2. This is a pretty important part of the track as well, where especially as you are coming through this section here on the spoon and down that back straight, it can be a particularly important overtaking point. Here is where a lot of people will run out of ERS, and it looks like he should be coming through. No, he's got his charge on. I think he might have actually pulled out of this one. So we'll have to probably jump on. Is he going to go back into the pits here? He's put a 127.7, so unless he was just charging up for that last part of the track there, but not a bad run, 127.7. I expect to see it a fair bit better as the track evolves, as we do have quite a few of the other cars on track. It's actually quite a busy track at the moment. We do have only one car being Formula Echo still in the pits, and everyone else out on track. So hopefully they give themselves plenty of gapping and plenty of spacing for these laps as they come.
Definitely. We do see a 27.7 and a 27.3. Also, I just want to double check if you do see things come onto the chat because I'm trying to, minimize the lag. If you do see anyone that does redeem anything, just let me know because I've just turned Twitch off. So hopefully, if you can see it, just let me know. All right. If you have it up,
So there
that's
we
all.
go, the first off the 126. Ryan Adair, well
Wow.
done in Ferrari 26.8. A cracking lap, leading the standings at the moment. Very very good style there. Like I said, the 126 is not going to be completely uncommon, but that's pretty rapid.
Yeah, that is very, very quick. He obviously has been doing a lot of practice. I think they really want a good night tonight. Obviously, Kick, I don't know if you heard, Kick did get to Team of the Week, 169 points in the weekend last week, 242 at the top. So that came out later today. So do apologise. They did take a little bit of a delay. So Kick are on form at the moment. Majono did take out the win pending results yesterday, penalties and all that jazz. So a really, really good start there for Ryan. And I do know that he is very, very quick here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the other Ferrari driver, which I will jump on board with a few of them in a second. Actually, I'll jump on board with the grid now before we get on a flying lap with Echo. So we've got Ryan Adair in the Ferrari, Alva in the Red Bull, Chidang in the VCAB, Toast in the Alpine, Sick Party in the Kick, Terrence in the Red Bull, TTV Zombie in the Merc, Sprinter in the Haas, Aben and Ricardo in the Aston, Symphonic is back with us, the TP in the VCAB, Wintercat in the Merc, Wreck-It Ruff in the McLaren, Albashek, first time this season on track, reserving for Haas, Angus in the McLaren, Calco reserving tonight for Williams, big loss for Sats, Gangster is back with us as well for the Kick, reserving for Jarabot, Echo in the Williams, and then also Cruz reserving for Ferrari as well. So we're going to jump on board with Echo for flying lap, but grid is looking pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here. And yes, Slushy, Red Bull looking good so far. We'll have to wait and see. It's qualifying, mate. Let's see what they do in the race. So here we go. Echo coming up to the Casio Triangle. Three very, very well-known corners here. Casio Triangle, Spoon, and 130R. And also Dunlop Curve. Here we go. Down the main straight up to 7th gear. Remember, we do show the telemetry only in quali, not in the race. Coming into turn 1, dropping onto the 50. Getting it nice and tight as much as you can without really getting onto the curbs. Going a little bit too far over to the left but trying to keep in the track limits. Very smooth so far. You really want to get the momentum through the yeses here. It's probably the hardest part of this track. The rest, easy peasy. As lemon squeezy, as they say. But we'll have to wait and see here. Can easily overcook it here, dropping onto the 50, get onto the curve, slow it down, coming through a Dunlop curve there, through the Guitar Airways strip there, down into the hairpin where we will see probably a few people try and get an overtake there. As you can see, slides the car around with the ABS off there. Very, very nicely done. Onto the ERS, 60%, very well managed, because you're going to need that lot of ERS on the last part. Coming into Spoon in 3, 2, 1. There we go, into Spoon. Now coming all the way, keeping onto the curves, very smooth so far from Echo. All the way now, burning all the ERS through 130 Rs, flat out as you can go without lifting off, moving over to the left hand side, early braking, 10% on the ERS to the Casio Triangle, getting onto the curve, good exit, not making it too far over to the right, keeping it nice and tight on the right hand side, and crossing the line, and a 1 in 26.8. Look at that. It's going to be a fantastic night for Echo and Ryan tonight.
That's right, we've got 100th of a second separating these two at the top. Absolutely brilliant. That was a smooth lap. And I'll tell you what, if the race has anything to show that mimics what we've just seen here, it should be an absolutely cracking race. So the majority of the grid back into the pits, fitting themselves up for their next set of tyres. They've got 9 minutes left of this qualifying session. So as the track evolves, we're probably going to see a couple of tenths shaved off everybody's times here and there, depending on how they went on their first run. Can they improve? Can they get themselves up into that all-important top 3 rows of the grid? Because especially at a track like this, where you are flying into that first corner, it is going to be super important to get nice track position.
Yeah, you're right. 100% there. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. Just going to check in the chat. Do we have any redeems or any at the moment? Because I don't see them coming up at the moment on screen. So if you do have a redeem and you are asking for an onboard, just let me know in the chat as well. There we go. We've got an onboard of Symphonic, so I do get to see it. That's good. So I get to see it on this end. So we will jump on board with Symphonic, which I will get Wildtrek to you to take on his lap. He is about to start it now.
So here we go, heading down, all the way down into the pit straight and at turn 1. Burning a bit of that ERS, but managing it well not to overcook that, because like you said in the previous lap, it's going to be all important coming into that last third sector of the course. Slipping through the S's now, nice and smooth, good weight transition. Don't want to be overcooking it, because as soon as you oversteer a little bit or understeer a little bit in those S's, it completely ruins your time. And here we go again, coming up over into these right-hand corners. Now these are quick. You've got to be on it, and there you go. Round 1, round 2, heading through the Qatar Airways underpass. And this is, funnily enough, a little tip. This is the only figure of 8 course. Oh, sliding into that hairpin. The only figure of 8 course on the F1 grid. So that's why the drivers are loving so much here in F1. As we burn a little bit of ERS, heading up the hill, heading to Spoon. This is the all-important area here to make sure that you got plenty of ERS as you're onto the overtake, burning all the way down. Is that 30, 28, 25, and then here we go into 130R, making sure that you are absolutely flat knacker through this section, and then we got the Casio chicane coming up. Now it looks like it's going to be a lovely lap by Symphonic, as long as you can hold on. And here we go across the line in 127.3. So Symphonic up to P5, not a bad effort at all. Fantastic work by Symphonic. Australia.
Yep, sorry, I was just having a drink.
There we are.
Sorry, my apologies.
Have a little sippy.
Yeah, I'm saving the
all
voice.
Good there, mate. So yeah,
I feel like this is going to be a big one for the voice.
Lap there by Symphonic. He has been pushed down to P7 now with Sprinter. Sprinter actually did very well last week. I think that he actually represented himself very well. That was a great effort by Sprinter last week. But here we go. Ryan still on top, coming through. He is on into sector 2. Oh no, he's actually pulled out of that one, so he's not going to be pushing for that particular lap. Echo's just on out. That will be interesting.
Do you have Connor OCE as a friend, Wildtrek?
Do I have Connor OCE as a friend? Look.
Just let me know. If not, I'm going to have to invite him through the stream. Right, while Wildtrek does that, we've got 5 minutes, so we've still got time to set a time at the moment. We've got Cruise down there, 29s. Okay.
Not me, sorry, mate. And I can't add friends whilst I'm in game.
Okay, let me do it.
That's alright, you take care of that. Let's have a quick look at what is going on.
We've got a few people in the pits.
There's quite a few that have come in. How much time do we have left in this qualifying session? They can't have much more time.
Just under 5.
Might be able to get out for one more lap. So they've got one more push in them. If they're in, change the tyres, look at the clock, and then go to head out. We've got Wintercat coming through. Be interesting to see how Winter goes. He wasn't feeling terribly confident when we were chatting to him earlier on. So he's currently sitting in P6, which is still in that top 3 rows on the grid. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes there. We've got Echo coming along for his... he's up sorry, 0.35. So that will be interesting as he comes through. Casio, see how he goes for this lap, because I think this could actually put him to provisional pole position. And it does. There you
Oh,
go. Provisional pole position. Echo 126.60. That is that's pretty slick. Oh, and there we are, right at air, straight back with a 126.5. These guys, you can barely slide a piece of paper between them. That is a fantastic hit back. Probably a little bit of a toe there as he came across the line straight behind Echo there. Fantastic work.
yeah, it does look like it's a two-horse race at the moment. Fantastic times. Look at the deficit between the two. It's 4 tenths between Ricardo and P2 as well. So that's a big time to pull in. And a really good lap from Ricardo as well to put himself up into P3. So he's obviously liking this track. Chidang doing a fantastic job as well. So is Toast. Zombie, unfortunate to see him down there from last week. I thought we'd see him a lot higher up at the top. So really unfortunate to see him down there in P13. Obviously, Kelko Albashit Cruz down there 129. He's definitely going to need to improve on that. He's going to definitely have to improve a lot to go. So we'll have to wait and see there. Back up to we've got Aardvark on a flying lap as well, repping the white Red Bull. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But 26.5 is the time to beat. So yeah, it's going to be pedal to the middle for the rest of the pack here. But anything can happen. That weather, though, Wild Trek, don't look too good. Got to say, bit of an overcasty out there.
Yeah, that's it. And look, Japan as a whole, whether it be Suzuka or say the Fuji Speedway, has been known for some absolutely atrocious weather in real world F1 to the point where even the 76 World Championship battle between Niki Lauda and James Hunt ended with Niki Lauda saying, no, 2 went for me, and actually pulling over. So it is not uncommon to see that kind of weather pushing through the Suzuka circuit. And I tell you what, I personally love to see a little bit of wet weather out there. I'm shocking in it when I drive myself in the rain. But just to mix it up for the viewers at home, it does put a different element in there, and yeah, it definitely makes things a little bit more interesting as you've got Aardvark heading on his flying lap, heading down the pit straight towards turn 1. Let's see if he is able to improve on his current time, which is 1 minute 27.51. If he wants to get himself up into that top 3 rows on the grid, he's going to have to shave at least a tenth off of his time now. Not impossible to do. There's been a fair bit of track evolution since his first lap, so he's only done the 1 lap, unlike, say, Angus, which has done 3. And he's already 0.13 up his previous time, so this could be a good lap from Ava.
Yeah, he's going to want to try and push it in there. So Ryan has decided to call it. He's happy with his time. He thinks that can't be beaten. He's eager to retire that early as well, even though you've got one more chance. But let's have a look. I've come into Spoon now. 40 seconds to go. Ooh, look at this. A nice little toe there from the Red Bulls. They've done that to perfection. That's worked out fantastic. That will give him a couple of extra tenths. It does not that much, but he needs to be careful going into the Gasser Triangle. It's all about perfection now, how you enter the curve. Oh, he really does slide the car into Gasser Triangle, coming around the castle line. Is he going to be able to put it into the top 3? Top 4. Very, very good start
top
there.
4.
Well done from Aardvark.
That was really well done. Look, that takes a lot of...
Ooh.
And Aardvark's gone for a bit of a wander into the gravel. Ah, well, you've earned it, buddy. But look, it takes a bit of precision, a bit of coordination to work with your teammate like that. Getting yourself a toe like that, especially on the back straight, making sure you guys line up at the right time. So that's interesting. So of the remainers that are on their current flying laps, you've got Ricardo, who's in 4th. Now he's taken over the spot of Aardvark, who just managed to get himself a 4th. But so now Ricardo's in 4th, Jidung in 6th on his flying lap, coming down across the line to put him into 3rd. Absolutely fantastic lap by the Racing Bulls driver there. That's absolutely brilliant to see. Toast, as he's coming along here, he is 2 tenths up on his previous time, coming across the line with full ERS. And where does Toast land? In 5th. So not able to improve a hell of a lot, but enough to get him into that top 3. Aardvark is he's just cruised along after his little wander into the gravel. Sprinter coming through, not able to improve a hell of a lot. He's in the top 10. Terrence, what have we got here for Terrence? He is now going to be in 12th, and there is only a couple left to come across. Angus in the pits, Abhishek in the pits, and Calco, the last, is going into the pits as well. So there you go. That is qualifying done for Div2 Suzuka.
Yeah, some surprises there. I've got to admit. Obviously, Ryan, he's very, very happy with his time. He's looking very, very quick out there in Suzuka tonight. But Echo will definitely, he's bounced back from obviously last week's race at Bahrain. Probably wasn't happy of where he finished. Cheetah, what a lap by him as well in the V Cab. And we were talking about Zombie earlier on. I did mention a little bit about him. But he's gone from 14th or 12th to P4. So, and we've only got 5 guys in the 26s. So, going to be some serious pace out there and some serious competition out in front. So, if any of these guys get into a little bit of a kerfuffle, it's going to make this race very open.
Yeah, that's right. We did mention earlier that safety cars are not uncommon here at Suzuka, and that really can open things up, especially when the undercut is so powerful at a track like Suzuka, and that means that, what is it? The safety car giveth, safety car taketh away. It could mean absolutely anything when it comes to the strategy changes that are going to have to be made. It is quite easy to do a one stop here if you manage your tyre wear properly. So, and these guys are all pretty skilled. So I imagine that the one stop is the plan. Assuming that there's no major damage to the cars, especially if there's any touching. But there we go. Interesting to see. So the top the top teams are all ready to go. Here we go. The guys are probably just doing their last minute changes to their setups. Be very interesting.
Yeah, going to be very interesting. I think we've got Connor in as well, which is good. So no one ready up. Let him get his setup in and let's get racing. This is going to be very interesting going into turn 1. Wild Trek will take you all away for the start of this race. Remember, there is no telemetry in the races, only in qualifying this season. Something to spice it up a little bit, not to give away what people's battery is as well. So we'll have to wait and see. A few comments coming in. Stupid game. Yep, I do agree. Head down, mate. Plenty can happen. Crew's not happy with his quali. Keeper, this is the closest you'll get to quali. Oh, well, there we go. Obviously, a little bit of rivalry going on there. And someone said, yes, there's no movies on at the cinema that TTV Zombie wants to go and see. So that's why he's in the car. Over to you.
All right, here we go. We are ready to go. 5 lights and Hajime! The team are at the Suzuka circuit as the top 5 drivers are all wheel to wheel pushing down into turn 1 with Echo getting that inside line. Chidung as well coming up behind the Zombie, and Ryan not having the best of starts there as we come into the S's. This is the all-important part of the track as they start to settle themselves out in a long string of cars. Look, I tell you what, dirty air is real in this section, so not surprising. There we go, we've already had the first off, running a little bit wide, but we'll see how we go there. So off to the races as we head up to the hairpin.
Yeah, great start. Very clean from Division 2. A few people going off track there. Lamb dropping out of the top 1 there. Obviously took pole position. He's now dropped down into P4. Abhishek dropping down, being overtaken by Cruz. There's a few changes if you are just jumping in with us tonight. That 1 each for Zombie, Chidung and Echo. Lamb, the biggest loss there, 3 spots. He will be very frustrated with that. The question is, now it's going to be an uphill struggle because it is extremely difficult to overtake here. We've got 1 guy starting on the hards again. it's an interesting strat that the Red Bull are starting to do, but they seem to think it's going to work. So let's have a look. Terrence will go the longer stint, but so far so good. All 19 cars, no damage and no incidents in Japan. So great start for Division 2 there, Wild Track.
Absolutely fantastic start. Not the best of start, like you said, for Ryan, but I tell you what, here he is. He was thinking about taking a move into turn 1 on lap 2, but nothing to do there. Down 3 positions from his pole position, which put an absolutely mammoth effort in to get that. So as we're coming now into the end of the first sector on lap 2, Echo leading the way with Chidung, Zombie and Ryan Adair making up your top 4. A couple of the other position changes. Abhishek's down 2. Rico Ralph is down 1. Kelko down 1. Terrence and Aban both down 1 as well as Toast down from 5th into 6th. So everyone else pretty much maintaining their spots or gaining an extra 1 there or 2, which is absolutely brilliant. Cruz coming up 3 positions from P18 up to P16. So yeah, fantastic effort there. But look, it all comes down to how they manage their ERS and whether or not they're able to go the long haul. There is some interesting strategies that will be employed here, and like you said, will we see a safety car? It is not uncommon here at Suzuka.
No, definitely with the dirty air, and it's lap 2, but everyone's starting to get into momentum there. We could see that Echo was jumping out of the DRS there for Chidung, but he's brought it back in 9.5 tenths at the moment, but it's still seeming everyone is pretty close. We're going a little bit further down the back. We've got a little bit of a situation going on there. Cruz has dropped down to P19. Oh, we've got something into the pits. So what's happened there? Sprinter is into the pits. Is this a front wing change already on lap 3? Yep, it is.
It certainly is.
It is. Oh! Ryan's round! The Ferrari is into the gravel!
No.
Oh no! From going from literally extremely fast, and it's so difficult to re-enter here as well because it's so hard because you've got so many cars coming through. Oh, this absolute. Oh, that is. I don't know what words. I've got no words. I'm actually speechless.
Absolute carnage.
That's it.
That is absolute carnage. Unfortunately, look, like you said, it doesn't take much, especially in those S's. If you lose it, you're into the gravel, and it is extremely hard to rejoin. Ryan going from position 4 all the way down to 18th at that stage. He has made a couple up, but he's still down 15 positions from his pole position start.
Yeah, I'm hearing in the comments there a little bit of drama between CTV Zombie and Lamb, so I'm sure Lamb being the assistant head steward as well, he will, that looks like that could be a penalty coming in. Reporter H-Town needs to be brought down a level. Oh, there we go. There's the rivalry is in there tonight. Anyway, lap 4 out of 27. Zombie is under investigation with the stewards at the end of this race. We'll have to wait and see there. Chidung in P2. He is putting pressure on Echo. Connor's left position, so it doesn't look like the Alpine has been able to get a car in. That's really unfortunate, and that is unfortunately sometimes the risk of joining late. It is not down to us. We send the invites out. If the game doesn't want to let you in, I can't do anything about it. All I can say is write a very long report to EA and see what happens, because it's the same thing over and over. But we've got 19 guys all here at the moment. Obviously, 4 of those guys are out of points. Ryan, Kelko, Cruz, and Sprinter. We've got a nice little battle going on here as Chidung has brought that gap down to 7.5 tenths within the DRS. But Zombie, has he got damage to that Mercedes? Because he's dropped down to a second. So I'm just trying to look at that car. No, all good, all intact. He's got Ricardo there behind him in P4, then Advac in P5, then Toast, Sick Party, Winter, Symphonic, Angus, Terrence, Aben, Gangster, Abhishek, Regaraf, Ryan, down there P16, Calco, Cruz, and Sprinter are your remaining drivers. Back to you, Roger.
So as we continue on here on lap 4, when are we going to be expecting to see these drivers looking for their pit strategy? How are they going to manage this? Are they going to be coming in somewhere around lap 10 or 11, trying to get that one stop to work, as we've got the Formula Echo and Cheetah coming down the pit straight and into turn 1. Like I said, an extremely important turn. Do not hit those curves too hard because you can find yourself doing exactly what Ryan did and spinning off into the gravel. I'm sure that there was a lot more to it with Zombie involved in that one, so giving the stewards a little bit of extra homework there. We'll see what the result of that one is in the post-race. But as we continue down, we've got Ricardo 1.2, 1.1 away from Cheetah. If he's able to get back into that DRS zone, it could mean that there's a DRS train from first all the way down to 12th. So it should be pretty interesting. So again, down to 9th. You've got Symphonic slightly out of DRS as well. Look, the guys are moving around quite smoothly at the moment. Do not see any major chance of there being a safety car as of yet. It's because we do have a fair bit of space between the cars. But will someone get desperate? Will someone go for that bit more of a divey kind of lunge down into the inside of a corner? We don't know yet. It's all very exciting here at Suzuka.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic to see so far. Formula Echo and Qidang having a nice little battle, and Qidang has really pushed in some fantastic performances in the last few weeks, and VCAB a little bit unfortunate this week to score some big points. So massive opportunity to start this week, especially in Division 2. And obviously a great drive as well from Symphonic. We've seen Ivar trying to go for a move on Zombie. Doesn't get the move done, but is up into P5. I think he got the move done on Toast. So Ivar is really putting down the pace down, and he is just trying to stay within because Zombie is nearly at that DRS. 8.5 tenths at the moment. So Ivar doing a fantastic job in that Red Bull. Going further down to this guy, been out of action for the last couple of weeks. So to jump in, sitting in that P9, yeah, 1.8 might be a little bit rusty, but still doing a fantastic job in that lovely pink livery, I've got to say. We've then got Angus down there in P10, who's got Terence right on the back of him, and Terence will be able to make grounds on these guys quite quickly because of those hard compound tyres. So we'll have to wait and see. You've redeemed an interview. You don't get it and never will. Well, that's your opinion. Prediction, redeemed interview, cheating will be my rule. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If people don't agree with the stewards, end of the day, no one agrees with the stewards. No one agrees in the FIA in real life, end of the day. But everyone has their opinion. But yeah, keep the negativity off the stream and enjoy the racing. That's what we want to see. The negativity is exactly not right. What we want to see. Right, Ricardo in that P3, Qidang in that P2. Are you thinking Qidang is going to try and make a move on lap 7 here? Wild track.
Look, I think that there is plenty of opportunity here, depending on how their tyres are going. Is this a case of will he go any undercut knowing that he's that close? It is a strategic call. Do you want to do it on track? Do you want to do it off track? I think if it was me, I would just be sitting there quite happy and wait for Echo to make a mistake, which does Echo make those kind of mistakes? We don't know. Look, I think that there is probably more chance to get a really good undercut in that position back there. So if I was Cheetah, I would be going for we've got a yellow flag at sector 1.
Yeah, Abhishek's gone off. He's actually lost the left side of his front plate there, and obviously Rekha Ralph, it looks like he went off as well. So it looks like there's been a bit of a situation between the McLaren and the Haas. But going back to you regarding Qidang, we've got a request. We'll jump in. If you've got a request an interview, jump in the comms box and we'll interview you. But we will pause you if there's some action going on. But back to you, Wild Track, about Qidang.
Yeah, that's right. Look, there is going to be a decision that Cheetah's going to have to make, right? Will he make the overtake through strategy, through his pit stop, or is he confident enough that his tyres are going to be able to not just let him make the overtake, but also hold on enough that he's not going to get undercut himself? So, there's a few decisions that he is going to have to make. He's driving very, very well. He hasn't lost the gap the entire race. They're at 7 laps now, and he's just sitting there watching, playing his, waiting bodies time, playing the long game, and I think that you'll probably find that he's not going to do anything silly.
Yes, it's gonna. Yeah, if he could just stay there with him, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens within the strategy. As we see Aben getting the move done on Angus there as well, so we are seeing a lot of these overtakes being happening down the main straight. No one is really going for a risk it or for the biscuit in that sector one area as well. So we're wait and see. There, Gangster down the MP13. We're seeing a few pits as well. Abhishek coming off onto those mediums, getting onto a Setova, the medium. So there's a two-stop happening there for Abhishek. So interesting strat. So he's thinking there's going to be a safety car. Back up to the front, forming Echo in pole position. She done 7.5 tenths behind. But there's a big break behind them. Ricardo is holding that break up in P3. 2 seconds on the dot behind Shidung with Zombie, Advak, Toast, Sick Party, Wintercat, all in the DRS. So a bit of a DRS train that we've got coming into Spoon now from Ricardo. So we can jump on board with Advak and see if he does make any move onto Ricardo going through 130. I'll have to wait and see there. We've got a prediction coming in. Just looking here. We've got a prediction. I'm just trying to see this prediction. Sorry, because I've got everything coming up on my. Where will there be a safety car? Lap 20. Oh, there we go. Get your predictions in. Surprise interview. First question: what happened in quali, and why do you have a quali ban? Oh, yeah, a bit of drama there. Bit of drama. Bit of arguing. Good answer there from H10. It is getting involved.
Thank you, H10.
Oh, Zombie's gone wide.
Wheel action here.
Other trying to get through. That was close. That was close. That would have been a T-bone and a spin around, and those guys would have been out of this race. So Advak getting his front wing in there, feeling like he's got the pace, but he doesn't need to do anything silly here. Right, he's in a DRS with Zombie and Ricardo. So if he stays with them, you know, and then he tries and makes the move, makes the mistake, he can then get the move done. Don't do anything silly. You don't, because he's looking at a podium if he can get past these two, and he's got them. They're in literally right in front of him. And we've seen there that Zombie is under investigation early on, so we'll see what the stewards say with that. But he does have a DRS chain behind him, which is, I think these guys may get a little bit impatient. But strategy may come into play here. Whoever decides to pit first and goes for the undercut, or people go for the longer. Because we are going to see Sprinter and Terrence, they will be going the longer for the time being at the moment while track.
Yeah, that's right. We do have our first on-track penalty that has come up. We've got Cruz, who's got a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Not hard to do here through the S's, that's where I'm guessing probably done that one. So, and there we go, you got Formula Echo into the pits, and you've got Cheetah going longer. So that's going to be very interesting to see how it all pans out. The long game tends not to work quite as much as it does in the undercut does, so it'll be interesting to see here. We've got Echo going on to those hard tyres, which was to be expected, coming out in P12, so not a terrible position to be in. He's going to be sitting quite happy. There's a bit of a gap in front of him, bit of clean air, so he's going to be able to bring those tyres in nicely as he comes into the first lap of his second stint. We've got Cheetah, who's coming around to the, looks like it's that Spoon that he's coming into there, or is that, oh no, just coming out of the hairpin, sorry. And as he's coming up into Spoon here, it'll be interesting to see if he is going to respond by pitting straight away. Will he be able to do a faster lap time and maybe potentially get out in front? Who knows? Hopefully we'll see some chopping and changing up the top end there. It's always good to see when the leaders do swap around a little bit of puts a bit of urgency in the drivers that are following.
Yeah, well, that's the question. As we see here, Zombie and Ricardo, we do have somebody in the comments box. We will answer that in a second. But TTV Zombie has lost out there to Ricardo. Are they going to go into the pits? No, Zombie continues. Ricardo goes into the pits. Cheetah goes into the pits. Keep an eye out on these two drivers, Echo and Advak. They are the ones that decided to go in earlier on. So there we go. We have got Cheetah that was in the lead of this race. Where is he going to come out? Let's have a look. He's in P5 at the moment. Now coming down. We've also got Echo coming down the main straight. Is he going to be able to get out in front? This is He does. What about Aardvark? Aardvark is in 14th. No, he's stuck behind traffic. Oh, Calco has really caused the problem here, and he goes for the move. Doesn't get the job, and Aardvark gets the move, but he's gone way too far off track and got it all wrong. He has to come back onto track, but he's missed out. The Williams of Calco held him up there, and he would have got the move done. So Echo has got in front of Cheeto by nearly 2 seconds. So by pitting beforehand has worked. Great job there by the Williams drivers and the TP.
Yeah, that is exactly right. Look, the overcut is nowhere near as strong as it is for the undercut here, and you see Aardvark popping off track again just there, getting stuck behind the other Williams driver, Calco. So, but Calco has got himself a penalty.
Oh no, he's
track limits there.
Sorry to interrupt. He's lost the front right plate.
Calco?
No, Aardvark. He's lost the front right-hand side.
He has too.
Oh no! So that's going to be. This is going to be tough. He's going to need a safe. He's all over the place. He can't turn the car. He's going for the move on Calco. Oh, he's pushed Calco off. Oh, Aardvark is not having the best of starts, and this is the best time to bring in the interview as we've got a 1-2 for Mercedes. Wintercat is leading this race on 11-lap mediums. He needs to get into this pit lane though, because if not, this is going to be interesting. Safety car, it does look like we could see it. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, on that note, we've got someone in the comments box. Kiona, welcome.
Hello, Connor.
Yo, how are you boys?
Good, mate. Good. Thanks for jumping in. Obviously, you've got a redeem here from Panda. A bit unfortunate.
Yes.
Against tonight. No Connor OCE. One.
No, we tried. We tried to get him in. We tried.
Yeah, and we. Oh, hang on. Oh, we got drama. Aardvark's round. Aardvark is round. I can't see. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Am I seeing a yellow car? Am I seeing a yellow car at the back? Yes, I am! I'm seeing that lovely red car, and it's a safety car at Japan! And Winter has been saved here. We could see. Oh, this is good news for Aardvark, but not good news for the rest. Sorry. Best time to talk to you now. As we were saying, it's all over there. It's going everywhere. I love this track for stream.
I think it'd be the safest bet for a safety car would be Japan.
Yes, it is, but for safety, trying to get my words out, for stream purposes, this track is better than the real life in this league.
Mate, in real life, nothing ever happens.
Oh, it's
nothing.
boring. It's
ever.
crap. Let's be honest. We saw 2 overtakes last season, and one was Yuki, and the other one was Liam Lawson, and that was overtaking each other. So that's how fun that race was. Anyway. No Connor OCE tonight, really unfortunate. 1 car, a fantastic week last week in Bahrain. How's everyone feeling from, obviously, Division 3 all the way through to Suzuka this week?
Yeah, good. Everyone's great. Like, Vettel's looking good. He's in form again. He's really happy after last week as well. It was good to get that win at Bahrain. Bread's all ready to go. Mitch and I are good to go. Everyone's ready. Morty's good to go in Div2 along with Soup. So yeah, everyone's all clicking and ready to keep scoring more points and go towards the top.
Just quickly, we've had Wintercut and Terrence come in for their pit stops, maintaining position on track to stick into 3 and 4 behind Formula Echo and Qigong. So you're looking here at, what are we talking about, 3-4 lap younger tyres on Wintercut and Terrence. So that could provide a little bit of action as the laps tick along. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, obviously there's a few questions in the chat. Obviously Panda's got a question for you, and I'll continue with a few more. What made you get back into racing? Obviously you took a little bit of a bit of the period out. So
I don't know. I just decided, been out for 12 months or so, 12, 18 months. Thought it might be time to finally come back and show all these newer people that an old dude can still do it. One of the original season 3 can still come in here and play with them. And yeah, just see if it's still as good as it used to be.
And your feedback? Is it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's good to get back finally after see a few of the familiar names, fair few new ones, but still a few of the old ones around, still including yourself.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm still here, still doing the reins, but obviously more of the backseat passenger now. I've got obviously the other guys. It's good to see you back on track. How do you feel? Obviously being obviously so far out of it and coming back into it. Obviously the quality that you're now seeing compared to when you were racing before. Have you seen a big improvement in the drivers that you're racing against?
Oh, 100%, but that's just time. Over time,
Mm.
everyone gets better. Over time, you get way faster, you get cleaner, more experienced, and it always comes back to you. It's what I think I'm 2 weeks in now. It's just slowly doing more sessions. It'll come back to me soon. Hopefully, I can be there soon, scoring some points per Alpine. I know Bread's given me a massive opportunity, so I need to repay the favour. So hopefully, I can get in there and have some fun races with some of these boys.
For some advice for the drivers that are in, that are struggling. Obviously, we've had a few reserves that jumped in. Don't think they're in the right division, and grading we know is one of the hardest things to do in league racing because every track is different. ERS is different, corner, braking points, everything. So not every track is the same. So some people are going to be quicker. We've seen, just going to use an example tonight. We've seen Lamb, absolutely fantastic tonight in quali, but one mistake or due to someone else, or one mistake pushes you down the pecking order. Now he's down in P9, so he's doing a great job. But what advice would you give drivers that are struggling to maintain and get points and get into P15 and get that last point? What advice would you give them?
Well, you got to go in each week with a fresh mind, fresh head. Okay, new week, new race. Like that's where everyone. If you go down the path of it's the same race, same week, you're gonna go down a bad path from there. That's where it first goes wrong. Like for me, come back, almost scored points, got P17. Last week came back out, was high up, I think it was 12th or 13th, cruising along, had one problem, got down to the back. So then it's a restart. Okay, it's another week. Yes, Japan. Personally, it's not my favorite track. It's not my strong track. But we'll go out, we'll give it a shot, and I always know that for me this is a hard track because I'm not a good qualifying is not my strong side. I'm more a better race pace, so I just got to do what I can in the qualifying, survive, hope a little bit that luck goes my side a little bit, but otherwise I think we should be able to get some points this week. Finally, we should. Mitch and I. Mitch has been doing his side, and I got to pull my side.
Yep. Okay. Well, safety cars coming in. I've got a last Wild Trick if he's got any questions for you, but if not, we will let you go. Wild Trick, any questions for Connor?
No questions, but welcome back, Connor.
Thank you, boys.
Great to have you in the chat box. As we do have the cars coming through Casio and then on to the straight, and there's that ERS on as we have restarted. Echo hitting the gas, heading down pit straight. We do have, looks like Wintercat down in P3, having a little bit of a look on the inside of Chidun, but deciding not to make a move on this lap. And then here we go. So the guys are all, here we go. We've got Abhishek into the pits. What's happened there?
He sends it around the outside of Gangster and holds his line, gets the job done. But we got drama. Symphonic is off. Oh, he's re-entered there into his teammate. Oh, that made me look. Oh, he's spun in. Oh, Kelko's gone into it. There's a big accident at the back. Cruz is involved in that. Abhishek is out. That's got to be another safety car. No, it looks like it's too early. It's all going on here in Suzuka on the restart. Thank you very much for giving it to me. The right person to give it to. And that was caught all live on stream. God, I'm good. I'm back at the ground. Wintercat is having a fantastic race. He is Bit of confidence, probably low. We spoke to him earlier on. You know this Wild Trek. He is in a fantastic position. 3 lap fresher tyres than Echo as well. The safety car has just helped him tremendously. Terrence, tough ask on those mediums as well. So keep an eye out for Ricardo. It's all going on here. Track rejoin as well from Symphonic will be looked at as well. But unfortunately for Abhishek on his debut back as well. Cruz, no front left side. Ferrari are not having a good night tonight. DRS is enabled. We're going to go back up to the front. Does Winter get close to Echo? No, for the time being, 3.5 tenths. But he gets a very good the exit into that first corner. He takes that so well. So interesting to see. A little bit further down, we've got Terrence in that P3. Decided to go. We've got more drama here as Cruz decides to call it. And he's lost it. He's lost it into the last corner. And that's brought a safety car out. And that Oh, more drama here, and we've got another safety car. So that changes the strategy once again.
Well, there you go. Suzuka never failing to disappoint when it comes to safety cars. We've got our second safety car. I'm surprised that it didn't actually get called when Cruz basically disintegrated there in Sector 1. So that's it was interesting that it didn't come out then, but it definitely has come out now. So he's had enough, and it looks like with all the damage on the car, he's had to put it into the wall as he's come around. But that means, are there going to be any major changes to the lineup? Do the guys want to try and dash in for a set of mediums? Maybe. Who knows? I think that most of these guys will probably want to stay out.
Yeah, this is going to be the interesting thing. Obviously, lap 17, there'll be 10 laps remaining. It's going to be interesting to see what these guys do on the hards, because if you look at the likes of Raf and Aardvark and also Calco, they're all on those mediums. So if these guys do end up deciding to make the pit stop, then these guys are going to jump, and track position is key here. So what's Echo going to do? He's on the hards, he's on very. They're deciding to. No one's going to risk it. Ooh. Lamb thought about it. No. So no one's. Oh, there is one person, and that's Sprinter. Sprinter is risking it. Well, he's on 13 lap hard, so yeah, good decision. He will be very fast in the closing stages of this race, and so will Symphonic as well. So two safety cars here for Division 2. We saw 3 last night in Division 1, and yes, we don't want to see crashes, but yeah, that was a big one. Especially, I think it was all down to re-entering there, and I think I think that may be a penalty coming to Symphonic there on the track rejoin, and then he just lost it, and then he ended up going into the wall. And when you're coming around that corner, like, you've got no chance because you can't see.
Yeah, that's right.
So your visibility is very interesting. 10 laps of racing to go. Thank you very much to everyone tuning in. I've got no idea how many people are tuning in as well, so feel free to let me know. But so far, we've got Echo, Wintercat, and Terence are your top 3. Ricardo down there in P4, Toast in P5. Pretty quiet tonight from Toast Wild Trek from last week.
Yeah, a little bit different last week. Obviously, he was first 2 positions with Zombie last week. And speaking of Zombie, he is down in P9. Was showing some pretty strong kind of form there a minute ago, but it's all kind of, settled out to probably, where he was, with the form of the rest of the race is about where he probably should be. He's dropped 5 positions from start. Ryan, however, has managed to get himself back up into the top 10 in P7. Now that's interesting, because going essentially from first to last back to 7th, that's a bloody great effort.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The safety car can change your whole strategy, and it can change the whole dynamics of a race very quickly, because it's bringing everyone back in, and we're only 2 cars away from everyone scoring points as well. And obviously some big names down the bottom there as well: Symphonic, Calco, Sprinter, Aardvark, Gangstar, Wreck-It Ralph, and Cheedung. Cheedung is probably one of the worst ones that's been really done over by this safety car, and also Zombie right there at the top. Down in P11, Zombie now down in P9. Sick Party kicks again, having a fantastic, interesting night. Not been anywhere near the top 5 tonight, and he's now into top 6. Toast has been quiet. Ricardo's been quite consistent tonight. Terence was nowhere near there beforehand, and Wintercat as well, another one. And Echo has just been, I think he is going to be the one to beat tonight. But the question is his tyres. 8 laps to 5 laps. So, going to be interesting if he's going to be able to hold on to those tyres, because Terence is going to be looking quite pacey. He's on 5 lap mediums. Going to be okay. I think he'll get to the end now, but they're going to be quick. And we saw, I don't know if you tuned in last night, Jamie Dodge was absolutely phenomenal on those tyres. They were 16 lap mediums, and he was trying to push for the lead on Jono, but unfortunately just missed out by, I think, 6.5 tenths in the end on the win. So, yeah, going to be interesting. But we know Suzuka is extremely difficult to make an overtake.
Yeah, it certainly is, and look, like we said, you know, the safety car giveth, the safety car taketh away. So that has played a massive role in the way that the positions have formed up for this race. Look, it's going to be interesting. I think you'll see Terence being very quick over the next 5 to 6 laps, but you may see him starting to fade away in those closing kind of 3, maybe 4 laps, depending on how well he manages those tyres. But once again, it is one of those places where you are really struggling to make an overtake with the safety car coming in. Here we go, getting it ready to restart. Formula Echo about to take it away, and he is going to be off to the races. There goes his overtake. He is racing down the pit straight. We do have Terence in P3, wanting to have a look. He's just lining up the inside there, decided to go for it. But we do have Wintercat right up the exhaust pipe of Formula Echo. Absolutely fantastic as the guys head straight back through the S's and into the second sector of the 19th lap here at Suzuka.
Yeah, we've seen 2 overtakes there as well. TTV Zombies got Abin up into P9, Orion Adair up into P6, taking his brother. Now look at that for drama. You don't want to be in that household after this race. Back up to the front, we've then got Echo, Winter and Terence. Terence he needs to try and stay with these guys. We know how quick Echo is in this race tonight. He's been very, very good. Definitely wants to bounce back from last week. We've got Zombie. He's actually then gone and got Angus now into the P8. Zombie is making overtakes here, so he's definitely wanting to get back up to where his teammate is at the moment. It's like they've had a bit of a switcheroo, as Wintercat was down there earlier, and now Zombie now wants to get back to where Wintercat is. So this is a good night so far for Mercedes in the top 8. Both cars in the top 8. We've got Symphonic getting the move done on Calco there, so he gets the move done. Calco with that penalty. Reserving tonight, doing a good job, trying to hold on, but it is going to be tough and anything can happen. He just needs to, he's probably in the worst position ever because you've got so much traffic in front. We've got Gangster who loses out to Arvak. Arvak up into P13. DRS is now enabled. Does anyone make a move? Ryan is looking very fast in that Ferrari. He definitely wants to get back to that front top 3 or top 5. Aben loses out. Oh, sorry, no, he gets the move done on Angus. There's moves happening left, right, and centre. Sprint now gets the move done on Gangster. So we are seeing overtakes here. Japan is not boring here, ladies and gentlemen, but it is in real life. Back to you, Waltrek.
Yeah, that's right. Most of these overtakes happening in the...
Wintercat's gone miles off there, and he's lost another position. Sorry, I keep interrupting. There's just so much action going on. He's just decided to smack Ricardo up the backside twice there. He's got it all wrong. Now he's down to P4, 3.5 tenths, and now it's 1.7 gap to Ricardo as well. And there's more drama here as we got Ryan. He's going side by side with Zombie. They had an issue earlier on, and they're going side by side. Arvak is out. Arvak is out of this race. What has happened there? And there's been a massive accident between Arvak and Gangster. Oh no!
And we've got more touching between Ryan and Zombie as well. Those guys are at each other like you wouldn't believe, but it looks like we've got another safety car.
Oh, I can't believe this. You would not believe what we're seeing here. Arvak and Gangster coming together. The 2 drivers that drove with each other last season, and they've come together. What is happening? I don't know if they have come together, but yeah, this is... I don't know what's going on here. We've got another. That's the 3rd safety car, if I'm seeing one. I'm not seeing a safety car. So I'm seeing it's a VSC.
VSC, there you go. Full course and VSC. Well, we'll see how the guys go with this one. Just
Toast is gone.
Through to see who's...
Have you got Toast? Have you got Toast as a friend?
I should do.
Yeah, he's just left the session. He's down in P5, and that AI is going to cause problems. It's on VSC at the moment, so we can get him back in. That would be great. Sorry to interrupt once again.
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
He has been sent an invite. So it'll be interesting to see, just flicking through to see who's got any wing damage, because there was a little bit of argy-bargy going on in that. And we're back racing, and
Zombie and Ryan
like
again!
Zombie and Ryan.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting. It's just all going on. Then they got three wide. What's going on? Everyone's losing their goal. Oh my days! Sick Paddy and Angus have just gone into each other. It's all going wrong here for guys. They're losing their concentration, and he's gone straight into the side of Angus there. And now kick have dropped down from 12 to. Well, he was 6th, and we've got the battle going on here. Just jump on board this battle between Ryan and Zombie. Well, now Ryan has lost out because he's now 1.7 seconds. This race is really going for it. Zombie is down in the P7. Toast is in the P6. I've got to go back with you. This is we're seeing some aggressive driving here now, and I think we're going to see another incident as we can see Toast and Zombie going at it as well. Zombie is really having a night tonight with it's like the Battle Express. He's now going to battle Lamb, but I'm looking at Lamb's car. And no, it's all intact, which is good. But Zombie and Lamb are going to go again. So I'm going to jump on board with an onboard of Zombie here. I'm going to let you take this one away because this is where the action is between these two.
That is exactly right. So we've got a Zombie just 0.5 behind Ryan. These guys came together earlier on in the race and caused a massive amount of chaos, especially for Ryan, who did... Oh, we got Calco 10-second penalty for speeding in pit lane. Won't really make any difference down the back there. So as we continue on with Ryan and TTV Zombie, these guys are going to be absolutely at each other. Going up towards Spoon, this could be a pivotal moment in this particular part of the race because we've got some pretty much identical management of their ERS. I know we don't show it on the show, on the stream, but it is really bloody close here. So these guys are going to be neck and neck. This could come down to setup, who gets a better exit out of Casio chicane. It really will be very interesting coming down because Ryan does not have DRS on Winter. He is too far behind. He's 2 seconds behind. That means that Zombie will get the ERS. He's 0.2 behind. He is absolutely sniffing straight up the back end of Lamb. And here we go into that. His DRS flaps wide open. He is going to be making that move onto the outside as he pushes through. Clean as you like. See you later, Lamb. Zombie back in front, heading into lap 23 here at Suzuka into the S's. And up ahead, we've got Ricardo and Wintercat going side by side. And they're touched, but managed to get Wintercat through into P3. He's coming back after losing those positions only a couple of laps ago, so he's back onto the podium so far, but it will be very interesting to see with Wintercat coming up behind Terrence 3 seconds. That's a pretty big margin. The guys that are really winning out of this is Terrence and Echo are just having their own little Sunday drive up the front.
Yeah, definitely. As Symphonic gets 3 second. Toast needs an invite if he hasn't got one. He has been sent one. If you could send him another one while track, that would be amazing. This race is not over. The way this is going, you've got Lamb and Zombie, Ricardo, Wintercat. That's the four-way battle that you've got to watch out for there. And Zombie is trying to get the move done on Ricardo. 12 laps to 10 and 13 to 10 to 12 as well. And Wintercat is in his... This is a great finish for Mercedes, but is it going to finish like this? This is going to be the question. Terrence in that P2 at the moment, is he going to be able to spoil the party and try and get extra points here for Red Bull with Aardvark out of this race? First retirement of the season for Aardvark as well. So keep an eye on Terrence. 11 lap mediums to 14 lap hards. So Terrence has got a real good opportunity here of getting the win here, let alone finishing in P2. If he can stay with them and stay within that ERS, then Terrence is in a really good position, which will be a fantastic weekend for him. Wintercat, though, more drama going on here as we've got yellows at the back, and we're not going to see a safety car here. So Calco is going on the soft. He'll try and get the fastest lap. Looks like I'm just trying to see on Toast here. I'm just going to jump on Toast's telemetry just to see if he is burning. Toast is back in. I think he's pitted. Or is he back in? 70. I'm just trying to keep an eye out. Yeah. I think he is in. I'm not sure. Just let me know. Yeah, he is in because he's burning his ERS. Yes, he is in. So Toast is in. So he's either AI pitted him, which is, drama. which is unfortunate for Alpine. They've not had a good night tonight. One driver not getting in, and then unfortunately one driver going AI, and it's just so hard to try and get you back in as soon as possible. A lot of problems with the.
Right. Now keep an eye out here, mate, because we've got Zombie coming in with Ricardo onto the pit straight. Ricardo's lost DRS, so this could mean that we do have a move being made by Zombie. I reckon he's going to try and pop out here.
Terence has got the move.
Pop out early, he does. Oh, not quite enough ERS to get him through that one. So very interesting. The Wintercat still 3 seconds behind Formula Echo, and Terence has actually made that move. He's gotten through, and there we are. New race leader on those mediums. He will gallop away. Already 8/10 in front of Formula Echo.
Yeah, and that was the situation. So it's worked out to a massive opportunity here for Terence. He's got the strategy right. Some people were probably looking at the hards, but he's probably been saved tonight by the safety car, and it's worked out for one of the Red Bull drivers, not the other one. Wintercat, though, he has a massive opportunity of finishing P3 here tonight. Earlier on, spoke to him and said, I absolutely hate this track. I'm not feeling good. Well, he's feeling good now because he's in P3. Mercedes must be feeling good with both of their drivers. But we'll be looking, obviously, with stewarding side of it, because there's been a lot of situations going on with him. We're saying he's lagging as well, but he has done a connection situation, and he is fine, so can race. But Lamb is going to send it on the outside for 130R. This is where you're going to try and race side by side. The Ferrari and the Mercedes are going at it. They have not stopped all race. And Lamb has got the job done up in a P5. Do not underestimate Lamb of getting onto a podium. It's only him. He's 5.5 tenths, but he's going to come under extreme pressure again from Zombie. These guys are not leaving each other alone. And Ricardo has got a massive opportunity to try and get away from them. But they're staying within the time frame and in the DRS as well. Great move there from Lamb. And Ricardo is looking in his rears thinking, God, these guys are not giving it up. This is going to be very interesting, but they've got to be careful because they're running out of time. They've got 2 laps to go. I'm going to let you take this last one, and I'll take the final one because I know the final is going to be some juicy racing at the end. So back to you, Wild Trip.
That's right, on the penultimate lap, lap 26 here at Suzuka. We've got Terence in the lead, only 4 tenths in front of Echo, who is still holding on even though he's got those hards versus the medium. Wintercat 3.4 seconds behind that, Ricardo 1.5 seconds behind Winter, and then you've got the battle between Lamb and Zombie. These guys have been going at each other like the Russians and the Americans during the Cold War. I tell you what, these guys are not happy with each other. It will be interesting to see what the discussion is going to be like at the end of this race as we see Terence coming through the Casio chicane here, and the second last turn into the last lap of Suzuka. He's in a great position here, mate. He's got great ERS management. Let's see how we go for the final lap.
Yeah, please, watch your ears, guys, because there's going to be some shouting going on, because Echo is trying to get the move done, and he doesn't get it into turn 1. He was thinking about it. He was being a little bit cautious there, and we're going to have to wait and see what happens here. We've got Terence leading the way, Echo in P2, Winter is in control. He's got a 1.6 second lead to Ricardo, so he's done his work. Ricardo is literally in a 3-way battle between a Merc and a Ferrari and an Aston as well. We're going back up to the front as well because I can't keep off this. Terence has got everything above. Echo's got one last chance to get this, and he's going to have to do it through the famous 130R here, coming into the hairpin. Terence is keeping it nice and clean so far. 14 lap mediums against 17 lap hards. Wintercat, 3.2 seconds back. He is into P3. He'll be absolutely over the moon. Here comes Lamb. He's got the job done on Zombie. Zombie's pushed it to 1.8 now, so he's dropped out. Lamb is still going to push him, trying to push for that P4. Here we go between Terence and Echo. Terence is 6.5 tenths. Echo is 5.5 tenths. He's gaining. He's gaining. He's gaining. He is gaining. He is gaining. You can see how much he's gaining. He's going to go for the move on the right. Terence has to hold his line. He does hold his line. And Echo has gone off track, but he has to give the position back. He has to. Oh no, absolute scenes here. Echo doesn't give the position back and takes the win, but that will not be it. He's absolute scenes here, and Ryan absolute drops down to P6. I think he had a penalty or something happened. I don't even know what happened. P4, P5, but that is going to be a big call from the stewards because I do believe Echo will have to hand that position back and could have been penalised as well because he didn't hand the position back. So stewards. That would be hefty, Wildtrek, because if he does get a penalty, he's looking at a 5-second, which will drop him down to P4 out of the top 3.
Yeah, that's right. Look, there was more risk there than a divorced dad in Thailand, and I tell you what, I reckon that he may have played a bit of a gamble there. The game graphics will show Echo on top, but I think that we are going to see a position change in the actual standings. We'll get those guys into the comms box for their interviews, but holy dooly, what a race. That was full of drama. I reckon the guys will be having some very interesting talks after this one. What do you reckon, mate? Put that one up there as a very exciting race, at least for the watchers. I wouldn't have wanted to be a driver in.
Ricardo pushed Lamb off in the last chicane. There was more drama in that race. Oh, my days. I'm going to go. We've got driver of the day, so let's get that person in. We're going to get Rekka Raff in as well for an interview because he got driver of the day. Oh, there we go. Race winner currently. We would probably say it is Terrence's win on that one, and he does get the extra point as well for cleanest driver. Fastest lap goes to Toast. Driver of the day, Wreck-It Raff. Most overtakes, Gangster, and the extra point goes to cleanest driver. Here are your classifications. Now, you probably want a look away because this is incorrect. Echo, Terrence, Wintercat, top 3. Ricardo, Zombie, Ryan, Aben, Wreck-It Raff, Sprinter, Chidang, Symphonic, Angus, Sick Buddy, Toast with fastest lap, Gangster, Kelko, Aardvark, Cruz, and Abhishek, unfortunately, all out of this race. Some big names out of this race as well. Abhishek and also Aardvark out, but going to be very interesting to see how these interviews are going to go. There's going to be this. I do not want another week like Division 3, but it looks like we are going to have it. Before we get these guys in for an interview, give me a bit of a summary of tonight's race because I want to swear, but I'm not going to swear. That was bloody epic, wasn't it? That was bloody epic.
We saw some amazing work by Lamb to get that pole position, and then it all go terribly wrong from the start, really. Losing out all the way down into P4 from the start, and then getting it turned around. Look, but he did bring it back about as well as he could. Pretty much going all the way down to last and then back all the way up to at one stage 5th. So I think that he's at least had a relatively recent recovery drive there. But considering that we had, 3 safety cars, that definitely shook things up a bit. Interesting to see how Echo was able to maintain a touch on the front of the grid throughout all of those safety cars, so that was really interesting. Obviously, Chidang absolutely robbed in terms of those safety cars. Like I said before, the safety car can giveth and taketh away, so he did not gain anything out of that situation at all. But one person who did was Terrence, absolutely flying up. I think he gained 10, maybe 11 spots with the win from his starting position, and that is a great piece of strategy from Terrence. Very interesting. Look, there was some weird, like wheel-to-wheel stuff there, quite a bit of contact, a flat-out rivalry between Lamb and Zombie the entire race. I mean, these guys were just knocking on the door the entire time. Very interesting race to see, as we do have a few of the guys heading into the chat box for the post-race interviews.
Yeah, it doesn't look like we are going to get Echo, unfortunately. So if Dido can jump in, that would be good. Or do you want to do a special interview with the Merc driver and Lamb? I think
that's interesting.
Let's see if we can get them in before we then take it away. We'll get Winter to message his driver as well. I'm just going to see if we can get these guys in. jump in for an interview, and yeah, let's see if we can get these guys in. But we'll take it away with P3, and I'll let you take away this one. Winter, over to you.
Winter, you were not confident heading into this race, mate. The pre-race chats that we had prior to you heading in, you weren't super pumped about it. But I tell you what, mate, some great strategy there. Use of the right times to pit with the safety cars, and pretty clean racing throughout. You've got yourself into a podium position. Well done.
It was a really tough race. I had a few offs a couple of times, had a bit of scares, but overall good result for us. And we take the lead in constructors for what I know of right now.
Yeah, look, you at one stage you were right up in a P2, and then having a bit of an off there. What happened with that one?
I just understeered off.
Definitely a tricky part of the track there. Yeah, tricky part of the track. Look, it is easy to a bit of understeer there, especially in those conditions. The dirty air can be very real. But look, you've done a fantastic job here, mate. I'm going to hand you over to SJ.
Winter. We had a few conversations before the race, and you said you were a bit, bit not deflated, but a bit, bit unfortunate with a few things that were going on, and you thought it's going to be a struggle. We did see, obviously, there was a bit of a chain of difference between yourself and Zombie. Zombie was up there at first hand, and then there was an incident that happened earlier on, and then obviously you then were probably saved by the safety car because you were on 11 lap going on to 12 lap on the mediums, which is you're going for a longer stint there because Zombie's pitted, and everything just worked out. So would you say tonight, a little bit of luck, you rubbing that Genie lamp?
It might have been a bit of a luck. Well, obviously, whatever happens in racing is racing, right? So I'm glad there was safety car near the end, and also when I was at the peak of my stint, the original plan was for Zombie to go long, and he was like, I don't know if I can go another lap. And I said I can go another lap if needed, and it worked out. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, you say it's racing. We could probably say the same thing with Echo on the last lap. He went for a maneuver which I'm sure the stewards will look at and that will not stick unless I'm running a completely different league. We'll find out. But big confidence for you. You've had a tough start. Obviously, Monza was tough. And also Bahrain was a tough one in the feature, not so much in the sprint. Big motivation for you going into the big one, which is also the home Grand Prix of the league, which is Australia. How do you go into with that confidence and that podium from Japan into Australia?
Well, I'm hoping I can do a double. Obviously, Japan's not one of my best tracks, but ever since I did a setup change, it just seemed to click and just work into place. And I'm excited to do Australia, my first ever 100%er. So let's do this.
As a person that knows you and where you've come from, I think you should be absolutely stoked, mate, from where you've been to where you are now, and putting that car on the podium. You should be real. That's a big thing. I don't know if Wild Trek knows this. This guy was Division 5 last season. He's now putting on a podium in Division 2. So, mate, props to you.
Epic effort. Epic.
Thank you.
And that's what I love to see. I love to see the drivers improving and showing the opportunity. I know there's a few out there that tonight that are a little bit deflated, Calco and also Cruz, but you put the work in, you get rewarded, and you've done it tonight. Yes, there was a bit of luck, but how many people are not rubbing that genie on the old lamp? That's a phrase from Aladdin, by the way, if anyone wants to know. Awesome, great job, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
I've had some bangers tonight. Well, check. All right, I'll let you take this one away because this was a spicy one. We will bring in P2 in a second, but I'll take Zombie over to you.
The question is, who's P2?
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
Well, one of the two top drivers, Terrence, absolutely brilliant race. Coming up at potentially 11 positions from your starting position, making full use of those safety cars coming out, hitting on the hard tyres to the mediums. Absolutely fantastic, mate. Tell us a little bit about how your race went, and it was great to see how clean you were, picking up cleanest driver, sitting behind and just waiting for that moment to utilise those medium tyres in the closing stages of the race.
Yeah, it's quite cinema, isn't it? On the last chicane. I don't know. Let's just do his thing. I would say is obviously incredible result for the team. And maybe for myself, I don't know. Maybe my race engineers is having a heart attack at that time, I think. But it's quite normal for me because I just squeeze every pace I have, pick up every chance I had, and yeah, that's it. And I think just lucky. Yeah, today
So
is
this
just
is the
lucky.
second week in the row that you've started on the hards. Is that right?
Yeah.
I want to
Or
forgot
was
what's Bahrain done. But yeah, just because we are, I'm quite set behind, and Arfag is qualifying P5 or P6, wherever is quite ahead of me. So I just put on a reverse track and looks like I really want to help him block the fast car after they onto the hard tires, but that doesn't work because of the safety car.
Yep.
But luckily I just stay out because am I the only driver who use hard to start the race?
I believe so. There might have been. I believe, yeah, certainly in terms of the way that the safety cars fell, you're the one who made absolute perfect use of it. So it was great to see a little bit of variation from the standard medium to hard. Going from that hard to the medium has turned out really well in your favour. Can you tell us a little bit about essentially post that first safety car and how you went with your strategy from there? What was the idea to maintain and keep clean?
No, just mediums because obviously there's second safety car and also one more virtual safety car afterwards. But because the pack is still intense and no way to pet on that situation, plus I have confidence with my tire wear. I think previously I can use the mediums for 15 laps and the hards for 22 laps, so it isn't a problem for me to keep them in shape.
Now, next week we're heading to Australia. How are you feeling about that? What's your plan going ahead? Is Australia a confident track for yourself?
I don't know. I'm quite confident with that 100%, but not sure about the track. Still need to look at my data if I was willing to practice. Of course, have to look a bit on my data because it's quite frustrating on that long DRS and obviously it's a DRS game again in Australia. So have to research.
Definitely awesome. Well, I'm going to hand you over to SJ. Take it away.
Terence. What do I say? There's been a lot of talk, obviously, in the Red Bull garage, and you obviously like to do something that no one else does, and which I'll give you props for. Honestly, I'll put my hands up and say when it works, fantastic. When it doesn't, you obviously you get called out for it. And obviously tonight, the strategy worked. The hards was you went the longer. you're probably a bit like Winter tonight. Obviously, you probably got a lamp next to you and a genie and rubbing that lamp because it was a little bit of luck. Safety car really did help. And obviously, you seemed like you had the pace on Echo. You made the move onto the last lap. To take us through the last lap going to Garcia Triangle, because Echo decided to, well, he decided to create a new layout of Japan.
Yeah, he is trying to overtake there. But I know the tricks on defending. I think I'm using every space to place my car correctly to defend him. I think he tried twice after I overtook him. One on the spoon, and one on obviously the last chicane. But I know actually on the last chicane, I misjudged a bit because I could pull my car into the left a little bit more, so there's won't enough space for a car length, or he needs to break on grass. But yeah, I just too conservative at that time, and obviously I don't want to have the penalty something like moving under braking, so I decided to stick on the middle line. But he just outbrake himself, maybe touch a little bit grass as well, and cut the corner after that. Still have to look at, but I hope that's the first win for Rebel.
I would probably say, without being a steward, 99.9%. And I think, unfortunately, with Echo doing that, he may have, made it worse, because when you do, push a car on track, and as you know in real life, and you do evade the track and you keep out in front, you have to give the position back. And unfortunately, he didn't. So he could be looking at a penalty as well, which would drop him out of the top three, which was a bit of a shame because it looked like he looked quite dominating tonight, Echo. And obviously you weren't in that order at the start, So no, fantastic. One question I'm going to ask you before we do let you go is, there's been a lot of things talking about Red Bull, the start, and every team gets this. Every team does get a little bit of not a rivalry, but a bit of banter, as you call it, banter or stuff like that. And how do you deal with that, with the negative side of it? Because it has been a tough start for Red Bull and also Alpha as a TP, but he has the drivers in all the divisions to put in some serious races. And like tonight, for instance, you've done it. Unfortunately, it didn't end well for him tonight. But how do you deal with that negativity going from race to race to race and across all the rest of the other drivers in the division?
Currently, I only have the time and energy to care myself. Quite silly, but I mean, I mean, maybe 30 or 40% of the result is still based on luck. Like today, Arthur obviously having much faster pace that I have. I got the podium and he retired. So of course have to learn to be cautious. And maybe some of them just bring the impression from last season in Alpine and carry on to this season Red Bull. For myself, I don't think that is quite fair. But we would just focus on ourselves and do our own stuffs, and it's work getting points. Maybe we would just appreciate and congratulate ourselves. I don't think we need any outside impressions or feeling to affect ourselves.
Well, that is the way. You've got to have that mentality. You've got to have that knit and grit and determination, and that's what it takes. You make mistakes. We saw it last week in Division 3. A driver retires. They pit and quit. Throw the toys out of the pram, as we say. And that's what we don't want to see. We want to see you got a bit of damage. You're at front wing. You still try, because you just never know. It could be a 5-car pileup. You just don't know, especially in a track like this. So props for that, keeping it positive. I think that's a fantastic night that you've had. I think you should be very, very proud with the team. Marzi, as always, I know he is a fantastic engineer and he does very, very well. Onwards and upwards for Australia. And as it stands, I'm not obviously a steward, but we'll obviously have to wait and see what the verdict is. But you are the winner of, currently P2 of Suzuka.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah, enjoy that, but just leave it to the steward. I don't know, I don't know what to say on that incident, but yeah, maybe P2. I mean, a P2 is still nice, isn't it? Lots of points and a podium at least. I'm not looking for the win, but I'm looking for consistently helping the team to get the points. I'm
If
not
I'm
looking for the rewards.
if I'm a betting man, and I'm not a betting man because I gave up gambling, but and I'm not promoting it either, I would say you've got the win. If I'm not a betting man, because you can't leave the track and then keep the position unless there's any contact between you and him, and you've not given him any room. Then it's a different matter. If that is not the case, then you've won the Suzuka Grand Prix. So, and we'll leave it as that
Yeah,
because
I
I
will
don't
know. I
want
will
to
know
get
5 days
wrong.
later. I think I
We'll
will
wait
know
and
five
see.
days later.
We'll wait and see. If I'm
Yeah.
starting to get DM'd by the head steward, then I know I've said the wrong thing. So, anyway, congratulations, Terence. Once again, fantastic race. And we'll see you in Albert Park next week.
Yeah. See you.
Right. We don't normally do this, but I've got to do this interview because this has been a juicy one. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the other driver mentioned, but Wild Trek, we got Zombie in here because we couldn't get Echo in, so we're going to bring him in. Do you want to take it away, or do I take it away, or?
No, you take this one, right? This was this is your idea to get these guys in here.
I know. I like this. Well, we don't have spicy interviews. Please don't swear. That's all we say. We know in Racing Zombie that people get a little bit, get your elbows out. And unfortunately, we know in sim racing, there's not an easy race and there's not a race without damage or anything because end of the day, we wouldn't be playing the game in the first place. So these things happen. We have these races, but was there a vendetta between you and Lamb tonight? Because you two just seem to go at it hell of a leather after the incident when he had early on, which obviously I don't know too much about, and then earlier on again. So yeah, to just give us a little bit of a rundown of your race and your battle with the Ferrari TP.
Right, it's gonna be a long one.
Keep it short.
So I think I was roaming around P3, P4, fighting Ricardo. I think I was in a really good spot. Then obviously I decided to pit earlier because I feel that I would have I felt like I should have pitted earlier. I was fighting at the front more than Winter. So it's kind of like a bit of prioritize, even though Winter did get the podium. But I pitted and I went onto the complete wrong tyre as I did in Div1 last week. So I came out, safety car came out straight away, so it was a bit of a blessing. But that first incident when Lamb went off, yeah, that was between me and him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's making a move into the S's, and I feel I left enough room for him. I'm not sure if he understeered into me or like he copped the curb like Suzuka people. Like, I mean, the curb's pretty deadly into the S's, but yeah, but we were really battling it the rest of the race, even when he, I think, very stupidly made the move into that fast right hand. I don't know if that was on stream, but that was outrageous from him, and he just completely shoved me off the track. Yeah, that's all I remember. I can't remember anything else because I just went from P13 to P5. Well, could be P4. I don't know what happened with Ricardo and Lamb up ahead. Obviously, one of them got a 3-second. But I think from where I was, I think I had a pretty strong race with pace. I went from P13 to P5. So, I mean, I'm happy, podium was definitely there if I didn't stupidly go onto the other tires. But yeah, I said I think I had a pretty solid race, and I'm happy for Winter as well. His first podium of the season, and he's had, no offense, he's had pretty poor results, and this is a good one for him. And I believe at this point, I take the lead over the championship, and we take constructors.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump in too much, and I know obviously Lamb is not here to say his case, and obviously it will be looked at by the stewards and everything, and we get that. And I think this is the thing: people get so frustrated and get angry. Oh, this racecraft's crap, and this is racing. You're going side by side on a track which is literally only side by side. You can only just do it here, and to do it, you got to have balls. You got to have balls to do it, because I saw some of the overtakes. You made a move on Sick Party. You made a move on Abin. You got balls, man, and I give you that. And unfortunately, sometimes, yes, if there's a little bit of lag, it doesn't mean it's your fault. It means that the car has just jumped because of lag or such and such. So I think some people need to lay off a bit, because I did see a few comments come in about the Mercs and stuff. Well, at the end of the day, if the stewards think you were dirty and you cause problems, they will report you for it, and you will get done. That's the whole point. That's the whole why we have stewards. I think the one thing I enjoyed about it is I love the rivalry. I like the conviction. As long as you're not driving in each other intentionally, trying to straight line, that's when it gets out of hand. But it's a track which is extremely difficult. This is not Bahrain, and this is, I think, some of the things I'm trying to see from watching the league races and commentating is these guys are trying to drive a track exactly the same they did last week. You can't do that. It won't work. Division 3, it didn't work. Division 2, not the same, but, some areas there tonight. So, and then you're going into a track next week, which is 100%. The concentration has to be on point, especially going into turn 1, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be pushed on the grass. And you've got to be comfortable in going side by side with all 19 cars, not just one car, not just 2 or 3 or 4, 19, because you're all racing against each other, because you don't know where the person comes out the pitch. You're going side by side in turn 1, you're going through spoon, So do you believe that we've started a little bit of a rivalry now between yourself and Lamb for the remaining of the season?
Well, I mean, it's one race. Like, I got no beef with Lamb. But it could just be one of those races where we were just on each other the entire race. He may have thought I was being dirty when I potentially didn't give him enough room. So I don't know if it was just that tense that he decided to just start making weird moves. But I mean, yeah, that's racing though. Like, he reports it. I've got the clips back, and then we'll just let the stewards do their thing. But I'm not gonna have any disrespect between drivers. I mean, at least I hope I won't. But I move on from here. Yeah. We're just gonna see what we can do next, and hopefully, me and Lamb can have a bit of racing in the next couple of races. So yeah.
Yeah. I hope I didn't speak out of turn, but I'll pass you over to Wildtrack if he's got anything for you.
Yeah, look, it's obviously one of those things with racing. Anything can happen on the track, especially as the track's evolving, as the race is evolving, positions are changing, the person that you're racing in front of you changes from lap to lap sometimes. Sometimes it does get a little bit desperate. One of the good things that I do notice between, say, lower divisions and Division 1 and 2 is that racecraft in Division 1 and 2 is really spot on. You guys are actually not just quick, but you're overtaking, your track position is all spot on. Where I see most of those kinds of issues is those lower divisions where the guys are starting to gain a little bit of pace, but some of that track craft isn't quite there, and guys get a little bit more ego-y and they get a bit desperate. So yeah, it's interesting to see you guys each other. Didn't actually bad in terms of it, but at no point during the commentary did SJ and myself label it as being dirty, but we did say that you guys were knocking on the door all race, and it was actually bloody entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it was enjoyable, and I hope you guys catch some of my moves. I really hope.
Yeah, we got a couple of them, and look, but that's one of the doing this year, obviously. But you know, the interesting thing is, you know, when it comes down to these, you know, it does, you know, to be perfectly honest, mate, if they didn't happen, then they're pretty boring. You know, if it was just a procession, if the guys were just driving around in circles, then we may as well bloody go and do NASCAR. You know,
Or
that's
iRacing.
essentially what it would be. Yeah, or iRacing. You know, but it becomes a procession. You know, and I guess that's what I'm getting at in terms of my take on the race as a whole. Yes, we had 3, but what did those 3 safety cars provide us? They provide us a bit of chaos. They provided position change. They provided something different than just, okay, team, here we are, and we've got our qualifying grid order, and now we're finished in the exact qualifying grid. Because I mean, that's exactly what SJ said during the commentary, which was unlike the actual race, which I think it was Sonoda and Lawson who overtook each other twice, and that was it. You know, other than that, everyone that they qualified in, you know, same as many of the other races throughout the 25 season. It was a season of really the Saturday being more day than the Sunday, at least with what we're doing here. Yes, no one's a professional driver here. Yes, you know, people are still evolving their race. But tell you what, without a little bit of drama, why bother doing it? You know, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, no one from here is you know, not going to work tomorrow. I can tell you that much. I am. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, it is entertaining to see. So, yeah, I guess my only take, you know, like you said, you know, keep the negativity to a minimum. You know, if you do something wrong, then you know, yeah, put your hand up and say, yeah, my bad. I do it all the time. I miss my braking zones, and I'm shocked. But at the same time, what you've got to understand is the way that you guys behave to each other after is more important than what you do on the track.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not putting any disrespect to Lamb. Like, I think it would have been entertaining. I think us as drivers, it would have been a bit annoying, but it happens all the time. So it's just one of those races, hopefully. But I mean, I think we both drove a pretty good race from especially what happened. You know, he fell back a lot of places. He came back. I fell back a lot of places. I came back. So, and we finished one place from each other. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind more battles in the future. But yeah, all respect to Lamb. But yeah, I'm looking forward to other battles with a lot of other people, and I wouldn't mind Lamb either. So that's
Well
all I
said,
got.
mate. Good job.
All right. Yeah, I think just a little bit of a take on that before we do wrap it up. I think you're going to have drivers even in real life. You know, Max Verstappen and George Russell. You know, don't like each other. That doesn't mean they're going to drive differently when they're on track. You know, there's rules. People were saying that there was a topic the other day that we were talking around saying, does Max drive differently to against Lando than he does Piastri? Well, that's a stupid answer.
Yes.
Of course he does, because every driver's differently. Yeah, you know, he's going to be more attacking or more defensive. He holds the line more. He brakes late. It's a stupid comment. You know, because every driver is going to.
Lando's in
Yeah,
Max's pocket.
yeah, but precisely, and that's the question. And then people are then saying and just calling out Max Verstappen. Oh, he's dirty because he drives different to Lando. Well, of course he's going to drive different to Lando because Lando's a different driver to Piastri. You know,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So it's a bit of a stupid question. It's like, somebody's going to overtake someone a bit different that's going to defend harder or give you the space. If you're going to widen open the track and say, yeah, take the inside, you're going to go for the move. If you don't and you put the car right in the middle and you're going to have to choose left or right where you go, it's a risk. If you go right, the car's going to move over to the right and you go into the side of it. So, you know, it's something you learn. And you have to take into account as well, these guys, people seem to think we're in 15 races in. This is the third race of the season, for God's sake. Like, give these guys a little bit of a juice, you know, because end of the day, it's a different grid. as well. You've got reserve drivers that are coming in as well. They're performing. And you've got these guys that are trying to build a bond with their teammate. And these guys are also driving with each other, some for the first time. So you are going to see mistakes. You are going to see incidents. What is racing without no bloody crashes? People watch Formula One for crashes, for the safety car. If you see someone driving that's leading a race for 20 seconds, like we always used to say 2 seasons ago with Max, if he's leading 5 seconds at the beginning within the first 5 laps, you turn it off and then you watch it with 3 laps to go at the end. That's what you used to be able to do. So you want to see that action pack, but it's within limits. It's within the rules, giving each other space, making those overtakes and not, causing damage and stuff. So I think it's always a tough ask, I think. And I think the stewards, I know they've had I'm going to just give a big shout out to the stewards as well. They get things wrong, like anyone does in real life. They do not get paid to do the role. They do it because they love it. But if you piss them off, they aren't going to do it. And then that's a difficult thing. Then we have to find stewards. And also you've got to understand is they're learning each week by working together. As soon as you have different stewards, you're going to have different incidents because they have to understand the ruling of the league as well. So if they do make mistakes, give them a pat on the back and say, yeah, I thought that was wrong, but we want to see the consistency, and that's the reasons why we've got an assistant and a head steward that can maintain that consistency. So get off their back a little bit because it's tough. And if you want to be a steward, then put your hand up. If you don't, then be quiet and just race. That's what I'm going to say on the steward side of it.
Well, there you have it, kids.
I had a bit of a vent tonight, but no, just a few
Papa
things this
SJ,
week.
thank you very much. I think we've all had a good say about it. And look, and I think you're exactly right. The one of the biggest things about this is that at the end of the day, we're having fun. Look, I know from my own, perspective is that I chose actually not to take part in the league this season and focus on my own proving as a driver. Because I want to get out of the lower divisions. I don't want to be caught up in poor racecraft incidents because I find it frustrating, and I rather than blow up about it, I just decided to do something about it in my own way. But I think that one of the best things that I see about sim racing, about this league, about everything that we're doing here is that everyone's having fun. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, it's not about how you treat each other on the track, it's how you treat each other off the track. So yeah, and that goes for the stewards as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I just wanted to say that because I know it's been a tough week for the stewards. Division 3 was a pretty heated race, and I'm sure that Division 2 will be a few stewards and reports going in on that as well. But like you, I'll say the same thing as you. It's the aspect of fun, But if you want competitive racing, this is it. You ain't gonna get any competitive than this unless you get in a real car and do it for real. So trying to make it as realistic as possible, and you are going to have these races, you are going to have these issues, and unfortunately, every race is not perfect. And then unfortunately, you've got 15 other races to go. So plenty of time to learn, plenty of time to practice and continue as well, which is going to be really, really good. But I've enjoyed it. Congratulations to the podium winners tonight. Terence, Echo, currently will obviously wait what the stewards say on that. And also Winter, and also Driver of the Day as well, which was Rick Ruff. So fantastic job from them. Thank you very much for the follow, Dragon GTS. Thank you very much for the requesting interviews as well. Panda earlier got a request for Connor, so thank you very much for jumping in. And Wild Trek, thank you once again for a fantastic night at Suzuka.
Thank you very much, SJ. Thank you very much, team. This has been Rush Racing. We've had a great time. Suzuka done. Next, we're on to Australia.
We are indeed, and it's going to be a long one. So save your voice for that, because we've got 100% together. Hopefully, we're together on that one. Big up to all of our sponsors: 369 Pagnium affiliate this season, SRC, and also TimLab. And get ready for tomorrow, because Division 4 is up next, and you will have Cruz and Nishka in the comms box tomorrow night. And some 3 drivers starting at the back with a Quaban. Will they be able to get into the points or even onto the podium? We'll have to find out. But I'll leave you a quote before I go. Red Bull, apparently, are being mentioned quite a lot. Not tonight, because Terence has shut them up. Good night.